Ladies and gentlemen, thieves and crooks, hoodlums of all ages, are you ready for the man, the one and only Jack Slater, the comic outlaw, coming to you live and loud from parts unknown? And I'm going to drop a little logic for you. For those that just don't know, because I'm like a dog pulling on a bone. And honey, you know that I could never leave that alone. So, the main man, Jack Slater's going to drop a little logic on who's the greatest Green Lantern of all. And there's so many we can add to the call. But I bet you're thinking, Mr. Comic Know-It-All, who is the greatest Green Lantern of them all? Well, if you're thinking Hal Jordan, if you're really in your heart thinking Hal Jordan, John Stewart, or that torchbearer Kyle Reidner, the Poozer, Kilowog, or even those Toma Reed fans, whoever the hell that may be, you would be dead wrong. Because the greatest Green Lantern of all, in his own unique, beer-drinking, ass-kicking way, is the one and only incomparable Guy Gardner. Yes, Guy Gardner, the man who's went through many ass-kicking incarnations through his tour as a Lantern and as not. Yellow Lantern, Red Lantern, and even a stint as the half-alien warrior. Yeah, that's going to be coming up here in a bit. That's a lovely red picture. Ooh, there it is right there, the warrior. And I kid you not, that was his form for a while. So basically, Guy Gardner has done it all. And he's survived it all. He's one of the greatest Green Lanterns. And if you need a man in your corner who's going to totally kick some ass, just ask Batman. It is Guy Gardner. But we're going to be starting with the story here. Guy Gardner Reborn. And here we go. After Hal Jordan got into an unfortunate incident where he may or may not have beaten Guy Gardner and taken his ring, Guy was not taking that shit laying down. Guy was still out there, big balling and shot calling, still kicking ass on the Black Hand. With or without his ring, Guy was still out there trying to maintain and take control of the situation. But it's sad that even a C-lister like Black Hand, this is before Blackest Night, mind you, that his men are literally owning him, literally ruling him and beating his butt for the lack of the power ring. And that is always a question with the Green Lanterns. Does the ring make the person, or do you make the ring? But anyways, Guy Gardner has fallen on some hard times since Hal Jordan screwed him over. And you meet his chick Ice, on and off girl, beautiful woman. And he's trying to find himself here. He's interviewing with some reporter. He's trying to find a new set of powers through these group here. I believe they're called the Guardians. And he's just trying to find his way, trying to find a new answer to his solution, because he still wants to be a hero. But he has no means, no funding, and basically without the ring, he's just an average dude out there, beer drinking and ass kicking. And that doesn't get you too far in the real world. So, after a little interview here that goes kind of bad, because Gardner's just being Gardner, after a few abrupt situations, Guy Gardner laying the pimp hand down, he decides that it's time to whoop some ass with some guns, because he was a cop. And now, instead of Guy Gardner, the Green Lantern, is just Gardner. And he goes out there, as I said, loaded to the teeth, coming down on the Black Hands organization. Bam, 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 bam. Guy Gardner's out there shooting and looting, if you know what I'm saying, until he comes up to some punk. And to be honest, I don't remember his name as Goldmember or Gold something or other. Let's just call him Goldie. And anyways, Goldie's armor is, of course, immune to all bullets, because why wouldn't it be? And of course, without the ring, even with the ring, you still have a little bit of problem with him. Guy is quickly realizing that he's outclassed, that he hasn't had the skills that Batman or other street level heroes work on in order to stay alive. And after he gets his ass handed to him, he realizes that there's still one ring. one ring out there, a yellow ring, which the other Green Lantern rings at this time are weak to, and he must have it. And where can you find someone? Where can you hire someone that can help you out with that situation? They can get you to that planet Gerard. Well, first you got to call an idiot. And his name is Nort. This dog is one of the dumbest Green Lanterns who's ever gotten the ring. But apparently he helps Guy Gardner out and creates a fire hydrant rocket ship. I shit you not, they launch off into orbit, and there they go, up into deep space, where somehow Guy Gardner, without a ring, is still controlling the contraption. Hey, it's the 90s, y'all. Get used to it. Love-a-dubba. And he goes off and he meets the main man, Lobo. And what's going to happen in the next issue is going to come right now in Guy Gardner Reborn with the main man, Lobo. And Lobo just starts owning him because of course he would. He has the power of Superman, and Guy Gardner is just some punk without a ring. And basically this is sad. He's just stealing his lunch, eating it, and then beating him up again. But somehow, through the power of persuasion, Guy convinces him that it may be in Lobo's best interest to work with him. But there's a price. He tells him about Sinestro. He tells him that he will give Lobo the ring if he helps him do a little mayhem and destruction in that good old place called Quad. And after a little training and butt kicking, I guess Guy Gardner is ready to take on the world. Well, we don't know how long of a butt kicking. So they ride off in Lobo's kick-ass bounty hunting bike. And they go off to their mission, first to the planet Quad, where the ring was first developed, the yellow ring that is. And after landing there, they quickly interrogate and meet the local folk, and quickly dispatch and gather information from them in the most butt-kicking, savage way. Well, not total savage, but in the sort of PG-ish, PG-13 sort of way, in the Lobo kind of fan base. And they go on to include what's going on in the situation. Guy Gardner is still giving a little, dumping on who he was, what's going on, how sad he is. Now, these are the other Lanterns here. And this is before Hal Jordan murdered everyone, I might add. Hal Jordan, not Guy Gardner. And everyone's just kicking back while Lobo is just ruling everyone on the planet Quad, trying to get information about this yellow ring. And so is Guy Gardner away, but he's just taking advantage of the situation, and he's mostly letting Lobo do all the dirty work. And why not? When you have a ruthless killer that just wants to kill, just let him own it. Let him do all the work. And that's the interesting thing about Guy. Like, they play him off to be such a buffoon, but in the end, he always seems to get what he wants. Even though he seems buffoonish and people think he's an idiot, he still conned one of the greatest bounty hunters to go out there and help him. To beat the crap out of all these worthless yellow lightning bolt aliens who seem to have one use in making a ring. For some reason they can't make again. They have to raid Sinestro's corpse, which I do not understand because they were the ones that made the ring in the first place. But that's neither here or there. After Lobo decides he's going to incinerate a few people, they learn that the ring, or Sinestro's corpse as a whole. Ooh, there goes another explosion right there. Bada boom. Is held by one man. I guess you could call him the King of Quad, if there is such a thing. Anyways, and I love this part where it's like, is it Hal Jordan? No, it's Guy Gardner. And he showed up with Lobo. And why not? If you have the main man there, why not have him there as a trump card? And after beating the crap out of a few of his people, threatening him, it was one of his stupid lightning bolt thingies, he decides that he reveals the ring, the yellow ring, is located on Sinestro's corpse. But the one big problem with that is Sinestro's corpse is located on Oa. And they, I guess you could say, persuaded him to have his followers wage war on Oa. So the next issue, Guy Gardner Reborn, is the final one. And keep in mind, this is the 90s. I have to keep saying that. And here they stand with all I guess, the Quadians, what you call them. And I love how the big guardian comes out, cease and desist, stop everything. And you think they're messing with that, but boom, they shoot him with a yellow cannon, because that's the way they roll. And I love how Lobos is kind of dismissive of everyone. He's on the job, and he just wants to kick ass and take names. And Guy Gardner is here for a mission as well. Now keep in mind, Guy Gardner kind of orchestrated all this. And here come the Green Lanterns. And I love how pissed off this chick is. And I love how like the other Green Lanterns are just like, what the hell's going on, man? Why are these little yellow lightning bolt dudes like invading our place? And keep in mind, this is before Parallax was expelled from the battery, so they were all still weak to yellow if they didn't have the willpower to resist it. And of course, who do they blame? They blame Guy Gardner. They always have to blame Guy Gardner. But the man has a way to turn things around and make you seem like you're down even though you're not down. And that's the way Guy rolls. Look at the way that he convinces Kilowog, that poozer right there. Now Lobo is still wondering what the hell is going on as he's sent to the main chamber. The chamber where all the fallen Green Lanterns lie. There's some storage right there from some other lanterns that have passed away. And the war has raged on between the Quads, their ancient enemies, and the other Green Lanterns. It's actually pretty interesting that you get to see a bunch of classic lanterns before they die. But anyways, he is the cemetery where they actually bury all the lanterns. And this is where he starts looking for Sinestro's corpse until he bumps into John Stewart. Now, Stewart is kind of wondering what the hell, but of course taken by a beam and possessed by none other than Sinestro himself. And this gives a preview to the Parallax. This is what I think is interesting, Johns was basing this off of, is that fear can possess you. And I think that's what's going on here, is the Parallax is possessing him through the battery, through the ring. And it's the first sign of possession. But anyways, Guy Gardner and Sinestro get into a battle of wills, a battle of fear. And I think it's Guy's fear that he's going to be a failure, that he's going to lose out, that he can't be the hero that he was. That fear overtakes Sinestro's soul or essence or whatever it is, and Guy ends up with the ring. Why these idiots are out here still fighting, claiming that they have victory, but like any other supervillain, of course they don't. As Guy Gardner emerges with the yellow ring, and he promptly bends over and screws over the Quads. Because, of course, he's Guy Gardner. He does what he wants. And, of course, he got what he wanted. The yellow power ring. And, of course, Lobo is pissed off because Guy just screwed him over on a technicality. And he flies off with the yellow ring. And I've always loved this story. I found it interesting. I love how he bats John Stewart away with the power of fear. And this starts a whole new chapter for Gardner where he carried the yellow ring. He carried it for a good while. And I just thought I'd share this story for you. One of my favorite ones. Guy Gardner Reborn. This is Jack Slater, the comic outlaw, signing off. Catch you on the flip side.